High-fat diets are often painted as nutritional villains, and for good reason. They disrupt the gut barrier, trigger chronic inflammation, and prime the immune system for overreaction or collapse. But what happens when you introduce key micronutrients into this inflammatory mess? Can certain vitamins or minerals act as biochemical shields, buffering the damage done by dietary excess? Emerging research suggests that vitamin D and zinc, two of the most powerful immune-regulating nutrients, may provide partial protection against the gut immune dysregulation triggered by high-fat meals, though they're more like fire extinguishers than force fields. Let's start with vitamin D, which has evolved from a bone health nutrient into a full-blown immune system maestro. Vitamin D receptors, VDRs, are expressed throughout the gut epithelium and on numerous immune cells, including dendritic cells, macrophages, and T cells. When activated, VDR signaling helps maintain tolerance, suppresses pro-inflammatory cytokines like TNF-A and IL-17, and promotes the development of regulatory T cells, TREGs, which are critical for preventing autoimmunity. Vitamin D also strengthens the intestinal barrier by enhancing the expression of tight junction proteins like claudin and aclidin and reducing epithelial apoptosis. In the context of high-fat diets, where gut permeability increases and inflammatory cytokines rise, vitamin D appears to provide a protective counterbalance. Animal studies have shown that vitamin D deficiency exacerbates fat-induced gut damage, leading to more severe dysbiosis, greater endotoxemia, LPS leakage into the bloodstream, and enhanced activation of the NLRP3 inflammasome, a molecular complex that drives many chronic diseases. Conversely, vitamin D supplementation helps restore mucosal immunity, partly by preserving IL-22 signaling and boosting anti-inflammatory pathways like IL-10 and TGFSS. However, vitamin D alone is not a cure-all. If the high-fat diet continues unabated, even optimal vitamin D levels can't fully reverse the microbial imbalances or immune misfiring. Think of it more like a dam that slows the flood, not one that stops it. Then there's zinc, the underappreciated workhorse of the immune system. Zinc is required for over 300 enzymatic reactions, but it plays a uniquely central role in gut immunity. It's essential for the function and survival of epithelial cells, the stabilization of tight junctions, and the production of antimicrobial peptides. Zinc deficiency, which is surprisingly common even in high-income countries, leads to increased gut permeability, reduced mucosal immunity, and impaired regeneration of the intestinal lining. Zinc also modulates the immune response more broadly, reducing oxidative stress and balancing the inflammatory cascade. In the context of high-fat feeding, zinc supplementation has been shown to reduce oxidative damage in the gut, preserve villus architecture, and suppress the expression of pro-inflammatory mediators like NF-B. Some animal studies even show that zinc can restore certain aspects of IL-22 production and epithelial repair that are otherwise suppressed by lipid-induced immune fatigue. Importantly, zinc seems to also interact with the gut microbiota itself. It can help support the growth of beneficial bacteria while suppressing opportunistic pathogens that thrive in bile-rich, inflammatory environments, the exact microbial landscape shaped by high-fat diets. However, too much zinc can also be harmful, leading to dysbiosis or copper imbalance, so dosing matters. Together, vitamin D and zinc offer complementary immune buffering. Vitamin D stabilizes immune tolerance and epithelial signaling from a hormonal perspective, while zinc physically reinforces the gut lining and reduces microbial volatility. In people consuming high-fat diets, particularly those with low baseline micronutrient levels, supplementing with these nutrients could mean the difference between mild immune activation and full-blown chronic inflammation. But a reality check is needed. These nutrients don't create immunity to dietary recklessness. They blunt the damage, not erase it. In clinical terms, this means someone might have less LPS leakage, fewer inflammatory cytokines, and better gut barrier integrity after a high-fat meal if they have sufficient vitamin D and zinc, but the underlying inflammatory trajectory of that diet remains. It's like installing airbags in a car that's still driving off a cliff. And, crucially, these nutrients work best in the context of a supportive diet. Zinc absorption is impaired by phytate-rich ultra-processed grains and alcohol. Vitamin D's effects are modulated by magnesium status and gut microbiome composition. Without enough prebiotic fiber, The microbiota won't convert vitamin D into its most effective immune-modulating forms, and IL-22 won't rebound no matter how many pills are taken. In summary, vitamin D and zinc are powerful immunological assets that may buffer the worst immune consequences of a high-fat diet. They strengthen the gut barrier, reduce inflammatory signaling, and even help rescue IL-22 function, but only if they're present in adequate levels and paired with supportive dietary changes. In a world where inflammatory diseases are rising and junk food is the norm, these micronutrients may be less like supplements and more like emergency stabilizers holding the immune system together. But they can't save the day alone. They just buy the gut a little more time to get out of trouble.